In the heart of East Africa, far from crowded cities, highways, and modern technology, there exists a place where time seems to have stopped. A land where survival is earned every single day, where every sunrise begins with uncertainty, and every sunset is another victory. Welcome to northern Tanzania, home to one of the oldest hunter-gatherer communities on Earth, the Hadzabe Tribe. For thousands of years, they have lived almost entirely from nature. No supermarkets, no electricity, no farms, no modern weapons, only handmade bows, poison-tipped arrows, ancient knowledge, and an unbreakable bond with the wild. Imagine waking each morning, knowing that if you don't find food today, your family may go hungry tonight. This is not a survival game. It is not an adventure designed for television. It is real life. Every footprint in the dust tells a story. Every bird call may reveal hidden danger. Every hunt carries risk. And every mistake could become a fight for survival. But the Hadzabe do far more than simply survive. They thrive in one of Africa's harshest environments. They understand the language of animals. They can read tracks invisible to most people. They know where to find water during the driest months. They gather wild honey from towering trees, and they live alongside some of Africa's most powerful predators, including lions. How have they protected this remarkable way of life for thousands of years? What secrets of survival have been passed from generation to generation? And what can the modern world learn from people who depend entirely on nature? Today we will journey deep into their world. We'll witness dangerous hunts across the African wilderness. We'll discover how they track animals with astonishing precision. We'll explore their traditions, family life, language, and ancient customs. We'll learn how they prepare food using methods that have remained unchanged for centuries. We'll see how they work together as one community. And we'll discover why scientists believe the Hadzabe offer one of the closest living connections to humanity's distant past. This is not just the story of a tribe. It is the story of resilience, respect, courage, and survival against incredible odds. So before we begin this unforgettable journey into the African wilderness, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and join us as we explore the world's last hidden civilizations, extraordinary wildlife, and the incredible people who continue to live in harmony with nature. Now, leave the modern world behind, step into the African wilderness, and discover the hidden world of the Hadzabe tribe. As the first rays of sunlight spread across the Great Rift Valley of northern Tanzania, a breathtaking landscape slowly awakens. Golden light washes over ancient baobab trees, rocky hills, and endless stretches of dry woodland. The morning air is cool and quiet, broken only by the songs of birds and the distant calls of wild animals. This is the homeland of the Hadzabe. Unlike the bustling cities found across the modern world, there are no highways cutting through this wilderness, no factories, no towering buildings. Here, nature remains in control, just as it has for thousands of years. The Hadzabe live around the region surrounding Lake Eyasi, a seasonal lake bordered by open savanna, acacia forests, and rocky escarpments. This remarkable environment provides everything they need to survive: wild game, edible plants, fruits, roots, honey, and precious sources of fresh water during different seasons. For outsiders, this landscape may appear harsh and unforgiving. Temperatures can rise above 40 degrees Celsius during the hottest months. Water becomes scarce, and the dry earth cracks beneath the relentless African sun. Yet for the Hadzabe, this land is not an enemy, it is home. Every tree tells a story, every trail holds a clue. Every season brings new opportunities and new challenges. For generations, Hadzabe families have learned to understand the rhythms of nature. They know exactly when certain fruits begin to ripen, where animals travel after rainfall, and which hidden waterholes remain reliable even during long periods of drought. This knowledge cannot be learned in a classroom. It is earned through a lifetime of observation. Children begin learning almost as soon as they can walk. By watching parents and grandparents, they slowly develop an extraordinary awareness of the natural world. A broken branch, a fresh footprint, or the distant alarm call of a bird can reveal information that many visitors would completely overlook. Scientists believe the Hadzabe represent one of the last communities on Earth, still practicing a traditional hunter-gatherer lifestyle on a daily basis. Their way of life offers a rare window into how our distant ancestors may have lived long before agriculture, cities, or modern civilization. That does not mean their lives are easy. Every day begins without any guarantee of success. Food must be found, water must be located, families must work together. Nature rewards patience, skill, and cooperation. But it can also be unpredictable. Despite these challenges, the Hadzabe have preserved their traditions through countless generations. Their language, songs, hunting techniques, and deep respect for the land continue to shape every aspect of daily life. As the morning sun climbs higher into the African sky, the camp begins to stir. Smoke rises gently from small cooking fires. Children laugh as they play among the trees. Hunters inspect their bows and arrows, while women prepare woven containers for gathering fruits and edible plants. A new day has begun, and with it comes another test of survival. Today, every member of the community has an important role to play. Some will follow fresh animal tracks deep into the woodland. Others will search for wild berries, roots, and honey. Each journey is different. Each journey carries its own risks, and every successful return strengthens the community. But before anyone leaves the camp, the hunters gather together for the first and most important decision of the day. The African wilderness is at its quietest just before sunrise. A cool breeze moves gently through the acacia trees as the stars slowly fade from the sky. The first golden rays of sunlight touch the distant hills surrounding Lake Eyasi, signaling the beginning of another day. For the Hadzabe, every sunrise brings a new challenge. There is no certainty that food will be found. There is no stocked pantry waiting at home. Today's meal depends entirely on today's effort. As the camp awakens, thin streams of smoke begin rising from small cooking fires. Families gather together, sharing a simple breakfast made from whatever remained from the previous day's harvest. Perhaps a little honey, wild berries, or roasted meat. If yesterday's hunt was successful, there is no rush. Every movement has purpose. The hunters quietly prepare for the long journey ahead. Each man carefully inspects his bow, a weapon crafted entirely by hand, using local hardwood. Every bow is slightly different, shaped to match its owner's strength and technique. Beside each bow is a bundle of carefully made arrows, each one straightened over fire and sharpened with great precision. Some arrows are designed for small animals. Others are intended for larger game. Each arrow represents years of knowledge passed from fathers to sons. Before leaving, the hunters examine the weather. They study the direction of the wind. A changing breeze can carry human scent for hundreds of meters, warning animals long before they are seen. Understanding the wind is just as important as understanding the animals themselves. Nearby, young boys eagerly watch every step. Although they are still too young to join the main hunting party, they practice with smaller bows made especially for them. Their arrows travel only short distances, but every shot builds confidence and skill. There are no formal classrooms. The wilderness is their teacher. Every day offers a new lesson. Across the camp, the women prepare for a different mission, carrying woven baskets and digging sticks. They head toward areas where edible roots, berries, baobab fruit, and medicinal plants are known to grow. Their knowledge of the forest is every bit as remarkable as the hunters' tracking abilities. They know which fruits are ready, which plants can heal, which roots store water during dry seasons, and which berries must never be eaten. Together, the hunters and gatherers form a perfectly balanced system. One provides meat, the other provides plant foods. Both are essential for the community's survival. As the sun rises higher, the hunting group quietly leaves the camp. There is no loud conversation, no unnecessary movement. Every sound matters. Walking in single file, they disappear into the woodland, leaving behind only faint footprints in the soft earth. The landscape around them is alive. A troop of baboons calls from distant rocks. Colorful birds dart between thorn trees. Fresh hoofprints cross the dusty trail. The hunters stop. One kneels beside the tracks. He studies them carefully without saying a word. The shape, the depth, the direction, everything reveals information. These are the tracks of a small group of impalas, and they are fresh. The hunters exchange silent glances. Without speaking, they change direction. The hunt has officially begun. Ahead lies a world filled with opportunity, but also danger. Somewhere beyond the trees roam lions, leopards, hyenas, buffalo, and elephants. The Hadzabe know they are not the only hunters in this wilderness. Sometimes they are being watched as carefully as they watch their prey. Every step now demands complete focus. One mistake could cost far more than a missed meal. It could cost a life. As they move deeper into the African bush, the trail becomes clearer. Fresh footprints lead toward a dry riverbed. The hunters tighten their grip on their bows. Something is waiting ahead. Whether it is food or danger, they are about to find out. The Hadzabe hunters move deeper into the woodland, where every step is slow, deliberate, and silent. To most visitors, the forest appears quiet and empty, but to an experienced Hadzabe tracker, it is alive with information. A single footprint pressed into the dust can reveal an entire story. Was the animal walking or running? Was it alone or traveling with a herd? How long ago did it pass? Was it healthy or injured? These are questions the hunters answer without speaking. One of the oldest hunters kneels beside a narrow game trail. He gently touches the edge of a fresh hoofprint. The soil is still soft, and a few grains of dust slide into the impression. He nods. The animal passed recently. Nearby, a broken twig hangs from a low bush. Fresh leaves are still green where they were torn away. A few strands of coarse hair cling to the branch. The trail is becoming clearer. The hunters spread out, scanning the ground and the surrounding vegetation. Each person focuses on different signs: footprints, disturbed grass, bent branches, and even the behavior of birds. Nothing is ignored. The Hadzabe have learned that the forest is constantly communicating. A startled guinea fowl may signal movement ahead. Monkeys calling loudly from the treetops can warn of predators or reveal that large animals are passing below. Even the wind carries valuable clues. The hunters always try to stay downwind. If their scent reaches the animals first, the opportunity may disappear before they ever catch sight of their prey. Hours pass. The sun climbs higher. The heat becomes intense. Sweat runs down their faces, yet no one complains. Tracking is a test of endurance as much as skill. Sometimes an entire day of searching ends without a successful hunt. But patience is one of the Hadzabe's greatest strengths. Eventually, the trail leads to a shallow watering place surrounded by acacia trees. Fresh tracks cover the muddy ground, not just antelope, zebras, warthogs, baboons. And then, the hunters notice something else. Large, round paw prints, lawn tracks. The group immediately becomes more alert. The prints are fresh, very fresh. The hunters know they are entering the territory of one of Africa's most powerful predators. Rather than panic, they remain calm. For generations, they have shared this landscape with lions. They understand that awareness and caution are their greatest protection. They quietly change direction, avoiding the area while continuing to monitor every sound around them. This decision reflects an important lesson. For the Hadzabe, wisdom is not about proving bravery. It is about knowing when to move forward and when to step away. As the afternoon light filters through the trees, another set of tracks appears. This time, they belong to a small group of impalas. The signs are unmistakable. Fresh droppings, recently grazed grass, soft hoof prints leading toward open woodland. The hunters exchange silent signals. The opportunity they have been waiting for may finally be close. They lower their bodies, grip their bows tightly, and begin one final, careful approach. Somewhere ahead, hidden among the trees, the hunt is about to begin. The forest grows quieter with every step. The hunters have followed the fresh trail for hours, and now every movement becomes even more deliberate. No one speaks. Even the youngest member of the group understands that silence can mean the difference between success and failure. Ahead, the woodland opens into a patch of tall grass. The lead tracker slowly raises his hand. Everyone stops instantly. He points toward a cluster of acacia trees nearly 100 meters away. Between the shadows, a small herd of impalas grazes peacefully. They are alert. Their ears constantly move, listening for the slightest sound. Their powerful legs are ready to carry them away at incredible speed. For the Hadzabe, getting close enough is often the hardest part of the hunt. Rather than walking directly toward the animals, the hunters study the wind once more. The breeze is blowing gently across the grassland. It favors the hunters. If they remain patient, the impalas may never know they are there. The group quietly spreads out. Each hunter moves into position, using bushes, fallen logs, and termite mounds as natural cover. No one rushes. The hunt is a lesson in discipline. One careless step could end hours of hard work. The lead hunter slowly lifts his bow, His breathing remains calm. His eyes never leave the animals. Nearby, another hunter watches the edges of the herd, making sure no hidden danger approaches. Even during a hunt, they remain aware that they are not alone in the wilderness. A leopard may be resting in nearby trees. Hyenas may already be watching from a distance, and somewhere beyond the grasslands, lions continue their own search for food. The Hadzabe never underestimate the wild. To survive here means respecting every creature that shares the landscape. Several long minutes pass. The impalas continue feeding. One animal slowly separates from the rest of the herd. The opportunity has arrived. The hunter carefully draws the bowstring. The wooden bow bends with quiet strength. Everything around him seems to stand still. The wind, the birds, even the tall grass appears frozen. Then the arrow is released. It cuts silently through the air, startled. The herd explodes into motion, racing across the plain in a cloud of dust. The hunters remain calm. They do not chase blindly. Instead, they wait. Years of experience have taught them that patience after the shot is just as important as patience before it. Only after several moments do they begin following the trail again. The tracker studies the ground carefully. Broken grass, fresh hoofprints, small signs that reveal the direction the animals fled. The search continues through scattered bushes and rocky ground. Eventually, they locate the animal. The hunters gather quietly. There are no loud celebrations. Instead, they pause in silence. For the Hadzabe, every successful hunt is met with gratitude. They understand that life in the wilderness depends on balance. The animal will provide food for many families. Nothing will be wasted. The meat will nourish the community. The hide can be used for practical purposes. Bones may become useful tools. Even the smallest parts have value. This respect for nature has been passed from generation to generation. It is one of the foundations of Hadzabe culture. As the hunters prepare for the journey back, the sky begins to change. Dark clouds gather on the horizon. A distant rumble echoes across the plains. The weather is shifting, and with changing weather comes new opportunities and new dangers. The hunters know they must return before nightfall, because after sunset, the wilderness belongs to a different kind of hunter. The sounds of lions, hyenas, and leopards will soon replace the quiet of the day. The journey home may prove just as challenging as the hunt itself. As the afternoon fades and long shadows stretch across the savannah, the African wilderness begins to transform. The daytime hunters slowly disappear into the distance. But another world is waking up. This is the hour when many of Africa's most powerful predators become active. Lions leave the shade where they have rested through the heat of the day. Leopards quietly descend from rocky outcrops or thick tree branches. Hyenas begin moving across the landscape, searching for food with remarkable endurance. For many people, entering this environment without modern protection would seem almost impossible. Yet for the Hadzabe, this has been home for countless generations. They do not see themselves as rulers of the wilderness. They understand they are simply one part of a much larger ecosystem. That understanding shapes every decision they make. As the hunting party begins its journey back toward camp, the group stays close together. No one wanders off alone. The elders have taught the younger hunters an important lesson from childhood. The forest always speaks before danger appears. The warning signs are often subtle. A herd of antelope suddenly stops feeding and stares in one direction. Monkeys high in the trees begin calling loudly. Birds take flight all at once. These natural alarms can reveal the presence of a predator long before it is seen. The Hadzabe pay close attention. Their survival depends on reading these signals correctly. On one occasion, the hunters notice fresh paw prints crossing a sandy path. The tracks are unmistakable. They belong to a large male lion. The impressions are deep, indicating a heavy animal. The edges of the prints are still sharp. The lion has passed through only a short time ago. Instead of following the trail, the hunters quietly change direction. Their goal is not to confront wildlife. It is to avoid unnecessary conflict. This wisdom has allowed the Hadzabe to live alongside dangerous animals for generations. Respect often provides greater protection than force. As the group continues walking, one of the elders explains how each predator behaves. Lions usually hunt in groups and are most active during the cooler hours of the day. Leopards are solitary and incredibly elusive, often remaining hidden even when people pass nearby. Hyenas, despite many myths, are intelligent hunters with excellent hearing and an extraordinary sense of smell. Understanding these behaviors helps the Hadzabe make safer decisions in the bush. Knowledge is their greatest defense. The hunters also learn to recognize places where predators are more likely to resist thickets, rocky caves, dry riverbeds. These areas are approached with extra caution or avoided altogether. As evening approaches, the sounds of the wilderness begin to change. The cheerful songs of daytime birds grow quieter. Insects fill the air with a constant rhythm. Far away, a deep roar echoes across the plains. A lion is calling to the rest of its pride. The sound travels for kilometers, reminding every creature nearby that one of Africa's most powerful predators is awake. The hunters pause for a moment. No one speaks. They listen carefully, determining the direction and distance of the roar. Satisfied that it is far from their route, they continue walking. Experience tells them there is no reason to panic, only to remain alert. By the time the first stars appear overhead, the campfire comes into view. Children run to greet the returning hunters. The day's harvest is placed in the center of the camp, where it will be shared among families. There is relief, there is gratitude, and there is another lesson quietly passed to the next generation. In the African wilderness, survival is not won by strength alone. It is earned through patience, observation, respect, and the wisdom to understand the world around you. As darkness settles over the camp, laughter and conversation rise around the fire. But tomorrow will bring another challenge. Before the sun climbs high into the sky, another group will set out, not in search of meat, but for one of nature's sweetest treasures. Hidden high above the ground, their destination lies inside the hollow of an ancient tree, where thousands of wild bees guard golden honey. And reaching it will require courage, teamwork, and an extraordinary partnership unlike anything else in nature. The morning hunt has ended, but the day's work is far from over. While some members of the community prepare the meat brought back from the hunt, another small group gathers for a very different expedition. Their destination is not a watering hole or a game trail. Instead, They are searching for one of the most valuable foods the African wilderness has to offer: wild honey. For the Hadzabe, honey is more than a delicious treat. It is one of the richest natural sources of energy available in the bush, packed with natural sugars and nutrients. It provides quick strength during long journeys and is especially treasured by children and elders. But finding honey in a vast wilderness is no simple task. Fortunately, the Hadzabe have an extraordinary partner, a small gray and brown bird known as the Greater Honey Guide. For centuries, the Hadzabe have recognized the bird's unique behavior. When it discovers a beehive hidden inside a tree or rocky crevice, it often calls repeatedly and moves from branch to branch, encouraging people to follow. The bird cannot open the hive itself. The Hadzabe cannot always find the hive without help. Together, they form one of nature's most remarkable partnerships. The group follows the bird through dense woodland, moving carefully around thorn bushes and towering baobab trees. Every few minutes, the honey guide pauses, chirps loudly, and flies onward as if checking that its human companions are still behind. After nearly half an hour, the bird lands near a massive ancient tree. High above the ground, inside a hollow trunk, thousands of wild bees guard their colony. The Hadzabe smile. The bird has led them to another hidden treasure. One experienced climber studies the tree before beginning the ascent, using only his hands, feet, and the rough bark for support. He climbs steadily upward. Below, the others prepare a bundle of dry grass and bark. When lit, it produces cool smoke that gently drifts toward the hive. The smoke encourages many of the bees to move away without destroying the colony. Reaching the hollow, the climber carefully opens part of the hive. Golden honeycomb glows in the sunlight. Fresh honey slowly drips from the wax cells. Its sweet aroma fills the warm afternoon air. Rather than taking everything, the Hadzabe collect only a portion of the honey. Leaving enough behind allows the bee colony to recover and continue thriving. This careful approach reflects an important belief. Nature should provide for future generations as well as the present one. Back on the ground, pieces of honeycomb are shared among everyone. Children laugh as sweet honey coats their hands. Adults enjoy the rich flavor while discussing the day's journey. Small pieces of leftover wax are left for the honey guide bird, a simple reward that continues an ancient partnership built on mutual benefit. Scientists have long studied this remarkable relationship, considering it one of the clearest examples of cooperation between wild humans and wild animals. As the group begins the walk home beneath the late afternoon sun, they carry far more than honey. They carry another reminder that survival is not achieved by strength alone. Sometimes it depends on observation, patience, and learning to work with nature instead of against it. The forest grows quiet once again. Tomorrow will bring another challenge, but today, the Hadzabe return home with one of the wilderness's greatest gifts, earned through knowledge passed from one generation to the next. While the hunters often receive the most attention, the survival of the Hadzabe depends just as much on the women. Before sunrise, as the first light reaches the woodland, groups of women prepare for their own journey into the bush. Carrying woven baskets and simple digging sticks, they leave the camp with children walking beside them. Their mission is different from the hunters, but it is equally important. Instead of tracking animals, They search for the hidden foods that the land quietly provides. The Hadzabe know that the African wilderness offers far more than meat. Beneath the soil grow edible tubers rich in water and nutrients. Scattered across the woodland are berry bushes, whose fruit changes with the seasons. Ancient baobab trees produce nutritious fruit packed with vitamins. Wild figs, berries, seeds, and edible leaves all become valuable parts of the community's diet. Finding these foods requires remarkable knowledge. Many plants look similar. Some are safe. Others can make a person seriously ill. From childhood, girls learn how to identify useful plants simply by observing their mothers and grandmothers. There are no written books. The forest itself becomes the classroom. As they walk, the women notice details that many visitors would never see. A particular flower blooming may signal that certain fruits are ready to harvest. Fresh animal tracks might suggest avoiding a nearby area. Even changing weather patterns influence where they choose to search. Children learn through participation. They help carry baskets, gather berries, and dig for roots. Along the way, they hear stories about the land, the seasons, and the generations who depended on these same resources long before them. By midday, the baskets begin to fill. The women rest beneath the shade of a giant baobab tree. Food is shared. Children laugh and play. The moment is peaceful, but it also reflects an important truth. The strength of the Hadzabe community comes from cooperation. Hunters, gatherers, elders, and children all contribute in different ways. No single person survives alone. When the women return to camp, their harvest is placed beside the meat from the hunters. Together, these foods create a balanced meal that has sustained the Hadzabe for countless generations. Their work may not involve bows and arrows or dangerous pursuits, but without their deep knowledge of the land, the community could not survive. In the Hadzabe world, survival is never the achievement of one individual. It is the result of shared knowledge, mutual respect, and every person fulfilling an important role. As the sun begins to set, the camp slowly comes alive with preparation for the evening meal. Smoke rises into the clear African sky. Children gather around the fire. The elders prepare to share stories that have traveled across generations. Stories that preserve history, teach wisdom, and strengthen the identity of one of the world's oldest hunter-gatherer cultures. The night is only just beginning. As darkness settles across the plains of northern Tanzania, the Hadzabe camp gathers around a warm fire. The flames flicker against the trunks of ancient baobab trees, while the sounds of the wilderness echo beyond the circle of light. In the distance, a lion's roar rolls across the valley. Closer still, insects create a constant rhythm that fills the African night. For the Hadzabe, evening is more than a time to rest. It is a time to learn. The oldest members of the community take their place beside the fire. They are not only respected for their age, but for the knowledge they carry, knowledge that cannot be found in books or classrooms. Every season they have lived has taught them something. They remember years of heavy rains that transformed the dry plains into green landscapes. They remember long droughts when every drop of water became precious. They remember successful hunts, dangerous encounters with wildlife, and the lessons learned from mistakes. These experiences are passed to the younger generation through stories. A young child listens carefully as an elder describes how to recognize the warning calls of different birds. Another story explains why certain valleys should be avoided during the rainy season. Others teach patience, kindness, courage, and respect for every living creature. These are not simply tales for entertainment, they are practical lessons for survival. The Hadzabe believe that wisdom grows through observation and experience. A hunter may become stronger with age, a gatherer may discover new food sources, but an elder carries something even more valuable: the memory of generations. Their knowledge helps the community prepare for challenges before they arrive. The children ask questions. The elders answer with calm voices, encouraging them to observe the world for themselves rather than simply memorize instructions. Learning never truly ends. Even experienced hunters continue listening to the advice of older community members. Respect is one of the foundations of Hadzabe life, not because it is demanded, but because everyone understands that survival depends on shared knowledge. As the fire burns lower, songs begin to fill the night. Voices rise together in rhythmic harmony. Hands clap in time. Children join the dance while adults smile and encourage them. These songs celebrate life, family, and the deep connection between people and the land that has sustained them for thousands of years. Above them, the sky sparkles with countless stars. Without city lights, the Milky Way stretches from one horizon to the other in breathtaking clarity. The Hadzabe have looked upon these same stars for countless generations. They serve as reminders that while the modern world continues to change, some traditions still endure. Tomorrow, another sunrise will bring another journey into the wilderness. Another hunt, another search for food, another opportunity to pass knowledge from one generation to the next. For the Hadzabe, this is more than a way of life. It is a living connection to humanity's ancient past that continues to survive through the wisdom, resilience, and unity of the community. As dawn breaks over the plains once again, the Hadzabe prepare for another ordinary day. Yet beyond the horizon, the world is changing faster than ever before. Roads are reaching places that were once isolated. Modern towns continue to expand, farms grow larger, tourism increases, and with every passing year, the ancient lands that have sustained the Hadzabe for generations become smaller. For thousands of years, the Hadzabe followed the natural rhythm of the seasons. When water became scarce, they moved. When fruit ripened, they gathered. When animals changed their migration routes, the hunters adapted. Their lives were guided not by maps or borders, but by the landscape itself. Today, those movements are becoming more difficult. Protected wildlife areas, expanding agriculture, and human development have reduced access to parts of their traditional homeland. Despite these challenges, the Hadzabe continue to preserve their culture with remarkable resilience. Visitors from around the world now travel to northern Tanzania to learn about their unique way of life. Many come with curiosity. Some arrive carrying cameras. Others come to better understand one of humanity's oldest surviving hunter-gatherer cultures. Responsible tourism has created new opportunities. Local guides help explain Hadzabe traditions while encouraging visitors to respect the community's customs, privacy, and environment. For many travelers, spending even a single day with the Hadzabe changes their perspective on life. They witness a society where success is measured not by wealth or possessions, but by cooperation, knowledge, and sharing. They see children growing up surrounded by nature instead of screens. They watch hunters rely on observation rather than technology. They experience evenings where stories, laughter, and conversation replace televisions and mobile phones. Researchers also continue studying the Hadzabe. Anthropologists, linguists, and conservation experts recognize the importance of preserving both the people and the environment they depend upon. Their language, traditions, and survival skills offer valuable insights into humanity's past. But preservation is about more than recording history. It is about ensuring that future generations of Hadzabe can continue choosing their own way of life. Many community leaders work together with conservation organizations and local authorities to protect traditional lands and cultural heritage. Their goal is not to stop progress. It is to ensure that progress does not erase thousands of years of human history. The Hadzabe remind us that there is more than one way to live. Their story challenges many modern assumptions about happiness, success, and the relationship between people and nature. While technology has transformed much of the world, the Hadzabe continue to demonstrate that wisdom, cooperation, and respect for the environment remain timeless values. As the sun sets once again over the African wilderness, smoke rises gently from the evening fires. Children laughed, families gather, the sounds of song drift through the trees. Life continues much as it has for countless generations. Their future may face new challenges, but their spirit remains remarkably strong. The Hadzabe are not simply surviving. They are preserving one of the oldest living traditions on Earth, and in doing so, they offer the rest of the world a powerful reminder. Sometimes, the greatest lessons about the future can be found by understanding the past, as the first light of a new day spreads across the African wilderness. The Hadzabe begin another journey. For them, it is simply another morning, another opportunity to hunt, another chance to gather food, another day of living in harmony with the land that has sustained their ancestors for thousands of years. But for the rest of the world, their story is something far greater. It is a rare window into humanity's distant past, long before cities, roads, and machines transformed civilization. Our ancestors depended on many of the same skills that still guide the Hadzabe today: reading the wind, following animal tracks, finding water, sharing food, working together as a community. While modern technology has changed almost every aspect of human life, the Hadzabe remind us that some values never lose their importance: patience, respect, cooperation, gratitude, and a deep understanding of the natural world. Their way of life is not presented as better or worse than modern living. It is simply different. It shows that human societies can thrive in many different ways, each shaped by its own history, environment, and traditions. The Hadzabe also remind us that nature is not merely a resource to be used. It is a living system that supports every form of life. For generations, they have hunted carefully, gathered responsibly, and taken only what they needed. This balance has allowed them to live alongside Africa's remarkable wildlife while protecting the land for future generations. Today, however, this ancient culture faces new challenges: growing populations, changing landscapes, and a rapidly modernizing world continue to reshape the places the Hadzabe have called home for centuries. Their future will depend not only on their resilience, but also on the willingness of others to respect their rights, protect their traditional lands, and value their cultural heritage. Every language lost, every tradition forgotten, every culture that disappears, represents a unique chapter of human history that can never be replaced. The Hadzabe are more than one of Africa's oldest hunter-gatherer communities. They are living custodians of knowledge developed over countless generations. Their understanding of wildlife, plants, seasons, and ecosystems continues to inspire researchers, conservationists, and visitors from around the world. Perhaps the greatest lesson they offer is surprisingly simple. Happiness is not always measured by possessions. Strength is not always measured by power, and wealth is not always measured by money. Sometimes, true richness is found in family, in shared meals, in knowledge passed from one generation to the next, and in living with respect for the world around us. As the sun slowly disappears below the horizon, the sounds of the African wilderness grow louder once again. A distant lion roars across the plains, birds settle into the trees, the evening fire begins to glow. Families gather together, stories are shared, children listen. Another day comes to a peaceful close. Tomorrow, the Hadzabe will wake before sunrise and continue a way of life that has endured for thousands of years. Their story is not just about survival, it is about resilience. It is about identity. It is about the enduring relationship between people and nature. And above all, it reminds us that in a world changing faster than ever before, some of humanity's greatest treasures are not hidden in museums or monuments. They are still alive, still walking the forests, still following ancient trails, still carrying forward traditions that connect us to our shared human past. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the remarkable world of the Hadzabe. If you enjoyed this documentary and would like to explore more extraordinary cultures, wildlife, and untold stories from around the world, don't forget to subscribe and join us on our next adventure. Until then, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next documentary. As dawn breaks over the Hadzabe homeland, the forest floor becomes a living map. To most visitors, the dusty ground looks ordinary: scattered leaves, small stones, dry grass, and countless footprints that seem impossible to understand. But to the Hadzabe, every mark tells a story. A single footprint can reveal far more than the animal that made it. It can tell how long ago the animal passed, whether it was moving slowly or running, whether it was healthy, injured, alone, or traveling with others. This extraordinary ability has been refined through thousands of years of experience. Long before maps, satellites, or GPS existed, the Hadzabe depended on observation to survive. Tracking was not simply a useful skill, it was essential. Early each morning, experienced hunters leave camp before the rising heat begins to erase fresh signs from the ground. The cool air preserves footprints more clearly, making the first hours of daylight the best time to begin a search. One elderly tracker walks slowly across a narrow game trail. Without speaking, he suddenly kneels. His eyes focus on a shallow impression in the dust. At first glance, it appears insignificant. But after a closer look, he notices tiny details. The edges of the print remain sharp. No wind has filled it with sand. A small pebble pressed into the center is still in place. These clues suggest the animal passed only a short time ago. Nearby, another hunter points to broken grass bending in the same direction. The trail continues. Tracking is never based on a single sign. Instead, the Hadzabe combine dozens of small observations: a broken branch, fresh droppings, scratches on tree bark, recently eaten leaves. Even the behavior of insects can provide valuable information. Together, these clues create a complete picture of the animal's journey. Different species leave distinctive footprints. The split hoof of an impala differs from that of a zebra. A warthog's tracks are wider and deeper. A giraffe's footprints appear surprisingly elegant despite its enormous size. Predators leave entirely different signs. A leopard's soft paws often leave prints without visible claw marks. Hyenas produce broader tracks with prominent toes. Lions leave massive rounded impressions that immediately command respect. Recognizing these differences is a skill developed over many years. Children begin learning almost as soon as they can walk. Pet grunts transform everyday walks into lessons. What animal made this track? How old is it? Which direction was it traveling? At first, the answers come slowly. Over time, confidence grows by adulthood. Many Hadzabe can identify dozens of animals from footprints alone. But tracking involves much more than looking at the ground. The hunters constantly observe the world around them. Birds circling overhead may reveal the presence of a recent kill. Monkeys calling loudly from the treetops can warn of a nearby predator. Even the wind carries scents that experienced hunters recognize. The Hadzabe understand that nature is constantly communicating. Every sound, every movement, every change in the landscape has meaning. Patience is equally important. Sometimes the hunters follow a trail for several hours without ever seeing the animal. Other times, changing weather erases every sign within minutes. Heavy rain can wash footprints away. Strong winds can cover tracks with dust. When this happens, the hunters simply begin again. They know frustration serves no purpose. Nature rewards persistence. By late afternoon, the day's search has led the hunters across rocky hills, dry stream beds, and open grasslands. Whether the hunt succeeds or not, another valuable lesson has been learned. For the Hadzabe, every journey into the wilderness is also a classroom. Knowledge grows with each observation, experience grows with every season, and every new generation carries these remarkable skills into the future. Long after the footprints themselves disappear beneath the wind and rain, the wisdom behind them remains. It is a living tradition, one that continues to connect the Hadzabe with the land they have called home for countless generations. As the golden sun rises above the rugged hills surrounding Lake Eyasi, another day begins in the Hadzabe camp. Hunters prepare their bows, children chase one another between the trees, and elders gather around the morning fire. Before long, the silence of the wilderness is filled with conversation. To first-time visitors, the language of the Hadzabe sounds unlike almost anything they have ever heard. Short clicks, soft whistles, rhythmic tones, rapid expressions that seem to blend naturally with the sounds of the African wilderness. For centuries, this remarkable language has been passed from one generation to the next, without books, dictionaries, or written records. Every word lives in memory. Every sentence carries history. Every conversation strengthens a culture that has survived for thousands of years. Language is more than a way of speaking. For the Hadzabe, it is the foundation of identity. It preserves stories, it carries traditions, it teaches survival, and it connects each generation with those who came before. Children begin learning the language from the moment they are born. There are no formal lessons. Instead, they learn naturally by listening to parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, and friends. As they grow, they imitate sounds, ask questions, and slowly become fluent through daily life. The forest itself becomes part of the conversation. Hunters have words to describe different animal tracks. Gatherers know the names of dozens of plants, fruits, roots, and trees. Elders use expressions that explain changing weather, seasonal patterns, and wildlife behavior. This rich vocabulary reflects centuries of close observation of nature. Many of these words have no direct equivalent in other languages because they describe experiences unique to life in the African bush. Communication during a hunt is equally fascinating. Hunters often rely on brief whispers, subtle sounds, and simple hand gestures to avoid alerting nearby animals. Sometimes silence communicates more than words ever could. A single glance may signal that fresh tracks have been found. A raised hand may warn the group to stop immediately. A slight nod may tell everyone to change direction. This quiet teamwork has been refined through generations of shared experience. Researchers from around the world have visited the Hadzabe to better understand their language and culture. For linguists, it offers valuable insight into the remarkable diversity of human communication. For anthropologists, it represents an important part of humanity's cultural heritage. And for the Hadzabe themselves, it is simply the language of home. Like many indigenous languages around the world, however, it faces modern challenges. As surrounding communities grow and outside influences increase, preserving traditional languages becomes increasingly important. Community elders continue teaching younger generations, ensuring that ancient words, stories, and songs remain alive. Each conversation around the evening fire becomes an act of preservation. Every story told to a child carries history into the future. Every song celebrates the resilience of a people who have maintained their cultural identity through countless generations. As the day draws to a close, the voices of the Hadzabe blend with the sounds of birds returning to their nests and the distant calls of wildlife across the plains. The language is more than speech. It is memory, it is knowledge, it is belonging. And it is one of the many reasons why the Hadzabe continue to inspire people around the world. Tomorrow, the community will once again journey into the wilderness, not only with bows, baskets, and experience, but also with the words that have guided their people for thousands of years. As the first light of morning spreads across the plains surrounding Lake Eyasi, the African wilderness slowly comes to life. A cool breeze carries the scent of dry grass and acacia trees. The silence of dawn is soon replaced by the calls of birds greeting the new day. For the Hadzabe, these sounds are more than the beginning of another morning. They are signals. Every call, every movement, every shadow across the landscape tells a story. Unlike people who see wildlife only during a safari, the Hadzabe share their homeland with these animals every single day. The wilderness is not a place they visit. It is the place they call home. Across the open savanna, a small herd of giraffes moves gracefully between the acacia trees. Their long necks allow them to feed on fresh leaves far above the reach of other animals. With slow, careful steps, they scan the horizon, always alert for danger. Not far away, a family of zebras grazes peacefully. Their striking black and white stripes create an optical illusion that can confuse predators when the herd suddenly begins to run. To the Hadzabe, zebras are not simply beautiful animals. They are part of the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Every species has a role. Every life contributes to the health of the land. Moving through the tall grass, a group of impalas pauses to listen. Their large ears turn in every direction, searching for the slightest sign of danger. In the African wilderness, remaining alert can mean the difference between life and death. Farther into the woodland, a troop of baboons begins its busy morning. Young baboons chase one another through the trees, while older members of the group keep watch from high branches. Their loud warning calls often reveal the presence of nearby predators. The Hadzabe pay close attention to these alarms. Sometimes the baboons unknowingly become the hunter's first warning system. Towering above the surrounding landscape stand ancient baobab trees. Some are believed to be more than 1,000 years old. Their massive trunks store water, helping them survive long periods of drought. For the Hadzabe, these trees provide far more than shade. Their fruit is rich in nutrients. Their bark has practical uses. Their presence marks important places within the landscape. As the day grows warmer, another giant appears. A small family of African elephants slowly crosses the plain. The earth trembles gently beneath their enormous feet. Elephants possess remarkable intelligence and strong family bonds. The Hadzabe respect them deeply. Whenever elephants are nearby, hunters quietly change their route rather than risk disturbing them. Respect is always safer than confrontation. The skies above are just as full of life. Brilliant bee-eaters flash through the air with colorful feathers. Powerful martial eagles circle high overhead, searching for prey. Vultures glide effortlessly on rising warm air, performing an essential role by cleaning the environment. Each bird contributes to the health of the ecosystem. As afternoon approaches, the temperature climbs. Many animals retreat into the shade, yet others begin their daily activities. Warthogs kneel on their front legs while feeding. Rock hyraxes warm themselves on sunlit boulders. Tiny dik-diks disappear almost silently into thick bushes. Even the smallest creatures have adapted perfectly to this challenging environment. Life here depends on balance. No animal exists in isolation. Predators rely on prey. Plants depend on insects and birds. The Hadzabe understand this relationship better than almost anyone. They know that protecting nature also protects their own future. As evening draws near, the wilderness changes once again. Daytime birds fall silent. Nocturnal animals prepare to emerge. The distant roar of a lion echoes across the valley. It is a reminder that Africa's greatest predators are beginning another night's hunt. The Hadzabe gather around their evening fires, listening to the familiar sounds of the bush. These voices of the wilderness have surrounded their ancestors for thousands of years. To many visitors, they may sound mysterious. To the Hadzabe, they sound like home. Their lives remain deeply connected to every tree, every bird, every animal, and every changing season. It is a relationship built not on domination, but on understanding. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson the African wilderness has to offer. The African wilderness is never the same for long. From one season to the next, the landscape transforms in remarkable ways. Dry grasslands become green with new life after the rains. Seasonal streams begin to flow again. Trees burst into leaf, and the sounds of wildlife grow louder as animals gather around fresh water. For the Hadzabe, these changes are not simply part of the scenery. They shape every decision they make. Unlike people who rely on calendars hanging on a wall, the Hadzabe read the seasons through nature itself. They noticed the arrival of migrating birds, the flowering of certain trees, the movement of insects, and the changing behavior of animals. These signs tell them that a new season has arrived. With every seasonal change comes a new strategy for survival. During the rainy season, the wilderness becomes rich with opportunity. Fresh berries begin to ripen, edible plants grow quickly, and animals spread across the landscape as water becomes easier to find. Hunters must adapt. Instead of concentrating near a few waterholes, wildlife now travels across much larger areas. Tracking becomes more challenging because rain softens the ground, and fresh showers can wash away footprints within minutes. Even so, experienced Hadzabe hunters understand how to follow subtler signs. A broken stem, freshly grazed grass, the scent carried by the wind. Every clue matters. The rainy season also brings challenges. Dosic vegetation makes it harder to see approaching animals. Slippery ground slows travel. Insects become more active, yet the Hadzabe have learned to adjust their routines, moving carefully through the woodland while taking advantage of the abundance the rains provide. Months later, the landscape begins to change. Once again, clouds disappear. The rivers shrink. The earth grows dry and cracked beneath the intense African sun. The dry season has arrived. This is often the most demanding time of the year. Water becomes precious. Many plants stop producing fruit. Animals gather around the remaining water sources, making them easier to locate, but also increasing the likelihood of encountering predators. The Hadzabe respond with patience and experience. They know where hidden water can still be found. Certain tree roots store moisture deep underground. Some natural rock pools hold rainwater long after nearby streams have disappeared. Ancient baobab trees continue providing nutritious fruit even during difficult months. Knowledge passed from one generation to the next becomes the community's greatest resource. Children learn not only where to find food and water, but also how to recognize the changing moods of the landscape. An elder might point to a particular tree and explain that its leaves signal the arrival of the first rains. Another may show how the direction of migrating birds hints at changing weather. These lessons are practical. They prepare the next generation for a lifetime of living with nature rather than against it. The Hadzabe understand that no season lasts forever. Periods of abundance are followed by times of scarcity. Hardship is followed by renewal. This rhythm has guided their lives for countless generations. As the evening sun settles over the plains, families gather once more around the campfire. The day's stories are shared. The younger children listen closely. The elders remind them that survival is not only about strength, it is about adaptability. Those who observe carefully, remain patient, and respect the land are the ones most likely to thrive. The flames flicker beneath a sky filled with stars. Tomorrow may bring rain, or another hot, dry day. Whatever nature decides, the Hadzabe will meet it with the same resilience that has carried their people through thousands of years. Because, in this ancient landscape, the greatest teacher has always been the changing seasons themselves. As the morning sun rises over the woodlands of northern Tanzania, the Hadzabe camp is already alive with quiet activity. Not everyone leaves in search of food. Some remain behind to create the tools that make survival possible. For the Hadzabe, every tool begins with the land itself. There are no factories, no machines, no assembly lines. Instead, generations of knowledge guide the careful selection of natural materials found throughout the surrounding wilderness. The process begins with a walk into the forest. An experienced craftsman studies the trees with great care. He does not cut the first branch he sees. Instead, he searches patiently for wood that is both strong and flexible. The right piece must be able to bend without breaking, withstand repeated use, and remain dependable during long hunting journeys. Finding the perfect branch can take hours. When the wood is chosen, it is trimmed and slowly shaped using simple hand tools. Every curve is carefully adjusted. Every rough edge is smoothed. The goal is not speed. The goal is balance. A well-crafted bow becomes an extension of the hunter's body. It must feel natural in the hand. It must respond with precision. The arrows receive just as much attention. Straight shoots are selected from young plants and carefully dried. If an arrow begins to bend, it is gently heated over glowing coals and straightened by hand. The process requires patience and experience. Even the smallest imperfection can affect accuracy. The arrowheads are sharpened with remarkable care. Some are designed for small game, others are intended for larger animals. Each type reflects generations of practical knowledge about the wildlife of the region. While the hunters focus on their equipment, the women prepare tools for gathering food. Digging sticks are shaped from durable branches and hardened over fire, making them strong enough to uncover edible roots hidden beneath the dry soil. Woven baskets are created from natural grasses and plant fibers collected nearby. Each basket is lightweight, durable, and perfectly suited for carrying berries, fruit, honey, and medicinal plants. Children watch closely as these tools are made. No formal lessons take place. Instead, they learn by observing every movement. A young boy carefully copies the way his father shapes a bow. A young girl practices weaving plant fibers beside her mother. Mistakes are expected. Every attempt becomes another lesson. Over time, skill grows through practice rather than instruction. One of the most valuable tools in the camp is surprisingly simple: fire. The Hadzabe understand how to create and maintain fire using natural materials gathered from the surrounding woodland. Fire provides warmth during cool nights. It cooks food. It offers protection by creating light around the camp after sunset. It also plays an important role in preparing wood, preserving certain materials, and producing smoke during honey gathering. Nothing is wasted. Broken tools are repaired whenever possible. Natural materials are used wisely. The Hadzabe take only what they need, allowing the forest to continue providing resources for future generations. This careful balance has helped sustain their community for thousands of years. As the afternoon passes, newly crafted bows rest against nearby trees. Freshly woven baskets wait to be filled during tomorrow's gathering trip. Children proudly hold the small practice bows they have made themselves. Their smiles reflect more than simple achievement. They represent the passing of knowledge from one generation to the next. In the Hadzabe world, craftsmanship is more than making useful objects. It is preserving tradition, it is strengthening community, and it is ensuring that ancient skills continue to survive in a rapidly changing world. As the golden light of evening settles across the African landscape, the camp grows quiet once again. Tomorrow, these handmade tools will return to the forest, not as museum pieces, but as living traditions, continuing a story that has endured for countless generations. The first light of dawn filters gently through the acacia trees as a new day begins in the Hadzabe camp. For the children, every sunrise brings another opportunity to learn. There are no school bells ringing across the wilderness, no classrooms filled with desks, no textbooks waiting to be opened. Instead, the entire landscape becomes their classroom. Every trail is a lesson. Every tree has a story. Every journey into the bush teaches something new. From a very young age, Hadzabe children spend much of their time observing the adults around them. They watch hunters prepare their bows before sunrise. They see gatherers carefully choose edible plants from among hundreds of species. They listen to conversations around the evening fire, where elders share stories filled with practical wisdom. Learning begins through curiosity. A young boy notices fresh footprints crossing a dusty path. Before he can ask, his grandfather kneels beside the tracks and smiles. Instead of giving the answer immediately, he asks a question. What do you think made these tracks? The child studies the ground. The hoofed prints are small. The spacing is narrow. After a moment of thought, he points toward the nearby bushes. An antelope. His grandfather nods with quiet approval. Then he explains how the depth of the tracks shows the animal was walking rather than running. He points to broken grass that reveals its direction of travel. A simple footprint becomes a lesson in observation. Nearby, a group of young girls accompanies their mothers into the woodland. They carry small woven baskets, learning to recognize edible berries, fruits, roots, and medicinal plants. Each discovery becomes another piece of knowledge passed from one generation to the next. The mothers explain not only what can be gathered, but also why certain plants should never be disturbed. Respect for nature begins early. Children quickly understand that taking more than needed can harm both the land and the community. Play also becomes part of learning. Young boys craft miniature bows from flexible branches. Their arrows are harmless, but the games teach balance, patience, and coordination. The targets are often fallen logs, termite mounds, or pieces of fruit hanging from low branches. Every missed shot is met with laughter. Every successful shot builds confidence. Girls practice weaving small baskets from grasses collected near the camp. Their fingers become more skillful with each attempt. Older sisters encourage the younger children, showing them how to tighten each strand until the basket becomes strong enough to carry food. There are no grades, no examinations. Progress is measured by experience. As children grow older, their responsibilities slowly increase. Older boys begin joining short hunting trips, walking quietly behind experienced trackers. They learn when to remain silent, how to move with the wind, and why patience is often more valuable than speed. Older girls participate in longer gathering journeys, helping identify seasonal plants and carry food back to camp. Every lesson has a purpose. Every skill contributes to the well-being of the community. The elders remind them that knowledge is one of the greatest gifts they can receive. Unlike material possessions, it cannot easily be lost. It can be carried throughout life and shared freely with future generations. As evening approaches, the children gather around the fire with their families. They listen as the elders tell stories of remarkable hunts, changing seasons, and important lessons learned long ago. Some stories are humorous, others teach courage, honesty, kindness, and cooperation. Each story becomes another thread connecting the youngest members of the community to their ancestors. Under a sky filled with countless stars, the children slowly drift to sleep. Tomorrow, they will wake to another day of discovery, another opportunity to learn from the land, another chance to strengthen the traditions that have guided the Hadzabe for thousands of years. For them, childhood is not separated from nature. It grows alongside it. And in every step they take through the African wilderness, the future of their culture quietly continues. As the sun rises over the dry woodlands surrounding Lake Eyasi, the forest awakens once again. To many people, this landscape appears to be a collection of ordinary trees, shrubs, and grasses. But to the Hadzabe, it is something much greater. It is a living library. Every plant has a purpose. Every tree has a story. Every season reveals new resources hidden within the wilderness. Long before hospitals, pharmacies, or modern medicine reached this region, the Hadzabe relied on generations of careful observation to understand the plants growing around them. This knowledge has been passed from elders to children through countless generations. Not by reading books, but by walking through the forest together. Early in the morning, several women and elders begin a journey into the woodland. They stop beside a small shrub growing beneath an acacia tree. To an outsider, it may seem ordinary. Yet the elder gently touches its leaves and explains that this plant has been valued within the community for many years. Nearby grows another species known for its tough fibers. These fibers can be woven into cords, repaired into baskets, or used for practical everyday tasks around the camp. The Hadzabe understand that survival depends on recognizing the many different roles plants can play. Some provide food, others provide useful materials. Still others offer shade during the hottest part of the day. Towering above the woodland stand the ancient baobab trees. Their enormous trunks dominate the landscape. During the fruiting season, the baobab produces large pods filled with naturally nutritious pulp. Families gather the fruit, enjoying its refreshing flavor and making use of one of the wilderness's most dependable seasonal foods. The tree itself also becomes an important meeting place. Its broad shade offers relief from the intense midday sun. Children play beneath its branches, while elders share stories and pass on knowledge to the next generation. As the journey continues, the group discovers several flowering plants attracting bees, butterflies, and birds. The Hadzabe understand that these small creatures play an important role in helping many plants reproduce. Healthy forests depend upon healthy wildlife. Everything is connected. The community teaches children never to damage more vegetation than necessary. Branches are cut carefully. Roots are harvested selectively. Fruit is gathered without stripping an entire tree. By taking only what is needed, the Hadzabe help ensure that the same plants will continue supporting future generations. This approach reflects a deep understanding of sustainability. Nature provides generously, but it must also be respected. Throughout the afternoon, the elders continue pointing out different species, explaining how each fits into the broader ecosystem. Some plants attract birds, others provide shelter for insects. Many become important food sources for wildlife. Protecting the forest means protecting the animals that depend upon it. And protecting wildlife ultimately supports the people who share the same landscape. As the sun begins to set, the group returns to camp carrying baskets filled with fruits, edible roots, and useful plant materials. Children eagerly gather around to examine the day's discoveries. Every walk into the forest becomes another lesson. Every lesson strengthens the connection between the community and the land. For the Hadzabe, the wilderness is far more than a place to survive. It is a teacher, a provider, and a trusted companion that has guided their people for thousands of years. As evening falls, the silhouettes of ancient baobab trees stand against the glowing African sky. The forest grows quiet once more, yet within its trees, grasses, and flowering plants lies an extraordinary wealth of knowledge, carefully protected by generations who understand that the greatest treasures of nature are often the ones we cannot immediately see. As another sunrise paints the skies above northern Tanzania, the Hadzabe begin their daily routines much as their ancestors did centuries ago. The hunters prepare their bows. The gatherers organize their baskets. Children laugh as they follow their parents toward the edge of the woodland. From a distance, it appears that little has changed. Yet beyond the horizon, the modern world continues to grow. New roads reach places that were once remote. Nearby towns expand. Farms spread across the landscape. More visitors arrive each year, eager to witness one of the world's oldest hunter-gatherer cultures. For the Hadzabe, these changes bring both opportunities and challenges. Throughout history, the Hadzabe have depended on vast stretches of woodland to hunt, gather food, and move with the changing seasons. The health of the forest has always been closely linked to the health of the community. When the land thrives, wildlife flourishes. When wildlife flourishes, the traditions of the Hadzabe remain strong. This deep connection reminds us that protecting nature is also about protecting culture. Across the region, conservation efforts seek to preserve wildlife habitats that support elephants, giraffes, zebras, antelope, birds, and countless other species. These same landscapes are also home to the Hadzabe. The future of both people and wildlife depends on healthy ecosystems where natural processes can continue. Visitors who come respectfully often leave with a greater appreciation for the Hadzabe way of life. They witness a community where resources are shared rather than wasted, where knowledge is passed directly from one generation to the next, where success is measured not by possessions, but by cooperation, resilience, and a close relationship with the natural world. Responsible tourism can help create opportunities while encouraging respect for local traditions and the environment. Around the evening fire, elders continue teaching the younger generation. They explain the importance of caring for the woodland. They remind children never to take more than they need. They encourage respect for animals, trees, rivers, and every living part of the landscape. These lessons have guided the community for thousands of years. They remain just as important today. Researchers from many parts of the world have visited the Hadzabe to better understand their language, culture, and ecological knowledge. Their observations highlight something remarkable. The Hadzabe do not simply live in nature. They actively observe it. They recognize seasonal changes. They understand animal behavior. They know which plants provide food at different times of the year. This accumulated knowledge represents generations of careful experience. It also reminds us that there are many different ways to understand the world. As the sun begins to set, golden light stretches across the plains. The silhouettes of giraffes move slowly through the acacia trees. Birds return to their nests. The evening breeze carries the familiar sounds of the wilderness. The Hadzabe gather together once again. Children listen as elders tell stories beneath a sky filled with stars. In those moments, the past and the future meet. Every story shared, every lesson remembered, every tradition practiced, helps ensure that this remarkable culture continues into the next generation. The Hadzabe are not only preserving their own heritage, they are preserving a unique chapter of human history. Their resilience reminds us that cultural diversity, like biodiversity, enriches our world. Protecting one often helps protect the other. As darkness settles across the African wilderness, the campfire burns steadily. Its light reflects in the eyes of young children who will one day become the next storytellers, gatherers, trackers, and guardians of this extraordinary land. Their journey continues, and so does the timeless story of the Hadzabe. As the last rays of sunlight disappear behind the rocky hills of northern Tanzania, a gentle calm settles over the Hadzabe camp. The heat of the day slowly fades. A cool evening breeze drifts through the acacia trees, carrying the scent of wood smoke across the open landscape. One by one, families return from the day's journeys. Some carry baskets filled with wild berries, baobab fruit, and edible roots. Others return from the woodland with honey collected from high tree hollows. The hunters arrive last, walking quietly toward the center of the camp. After spending long hours following animal trails through the wilderness, whatever the day has provided, it is brought together. No family hides its harvest. No one eats alone while others go without. The food is placed in the center of the camp, where everyone gathers. Children sit beside their parents. Elders smile as they watch the younger generation eagerly waiting for the evening meal. Sharing is one of the strongest traditions within the Hadzabe community. It is more than kindness. It is a way of ensuring that every member of the group is supported, especially during difficult seasons when food may be harder to find. After the meal, the atmosphere changes. The camp is no longer focused on survival. It becomes a place of laughter. Conversations begin to flow as families reflect on the day's adventures. Hunters describe the fresh tracks they discovered. Gatherers speak about new patches of fruit found deep within the woodland. Children excitedly tell stories of the skills they practiced during the day. As darkness deepens, the elders begin sharing stories passed down through generations. Some stories explain how certain animals earned their unique behaviors. Others teach important lessons about courage, patience, honesty, and respect. The children listen carefully. These stories are not simply entertainment. They preserve history, they strengthen identity, and they remind every generation of the values that have guided the Hadzabe people for thousands of years. Soon, rhythmic clapping fills the night air. Voices rise together in traditional songs that celebrate life, family, and the beauty of the African wilderness. The melodies echo through the trees as children begin dancing around the fire. Adults soon join them, laughing together beneath the stars. Music is not performed for an audience. It is shared by everyone. There are no spectators, only participants. The dances strengthen friendships, celebrate successful days, and bring comfort during difficult times. For the Hadzabe, community is built not only through work but also through joy. As the fire burns lower, the sky above reveals one of nature's greatest spectacles. Far from the lights of modern cities, thousands of stars shine with breathtaking clarity. The Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a glowing river. For countless generations, the Hadzabe have looked upon this same sky. The stars have watched over their ancestors. They now watch over today's children. And they will continue watching over future generations. The camp slowly grows quieter. Pent grunts prepare simple sleeping places. Children rest beside their families. Only the gentle crackling of the fire and the distant sounds of the wilderness remain. Somewhere beyond the darkness, lions begin their nightly patrol. Hyenas call across the plains. Owls glide silently between ancient trees. Yet inside the circle of the campfire, there is peace, there is safety, there is belonging. For the Hadzabe, true wealth has never been measured by possessions. It is measured by strong families, trusted friendships, shared responsibilities, and the knowledge that no one faces the challenges of the wilderness alone. As the final embers glow beneath the African night sky, another remarkable day comes to an end. Tomorrow, the sun will rise once again. The hunters will return to the forest. The gatherers will follow familiar trails. Children will continue learning from the land. And the timeless rhythm of Hadzabe life will begin again, just as it has for thousands of years. As dawn rises over the ancient landscapes of northern Tanzania, golden sunlight once again touches the acacia trees, the rocky hills, and the open plains surrounding Lake Eyasi. The wilderness awakens just as it has for thousands of years. Birds begin their morning songs. The wind moves gently through the tall grass. Fresh animal tracks appear in the soft earth. And in the distance, the Hadzabe prepare for another ordinary day. To them, this morning is no different from countless others. The hunters check their bows. Families gather around the fire. Children laugh as they chase one another through the camp. Life continues with a quiet rhythm that has been shaped by nature for generations. Yet to the rest of the world, this simple morning represents something extraordinary. The Hadzabe are among the last communities that continue to practice a traditional hunter-gatherer lifestyle, preserving knowledge that reaches deep into humanity's past. Their story reminds us that history is not found only in ancient ruins or museums. Sometimes, history is alive. It walks beneath the African sun. It speaks through the voices of elders. It lives in every lesson shared with a child beside the campfire. Throughout this journey, we have followed the Hadzabe across forests, grasslands, and rocky valleys. We have watched skilled trackers read invisible signs left by wildlife. We have witnessed the careful gathering of honey high above the forest floor. We have explored the remarkable partnership between people, animals, and the land. We have seen children learning from parents, elders sharing stories, and families working together to overcome the challenges of daily life. Every chapter has revealed a different part of a culture built on resilience, cooperation, and respect for nature. The Hadzabe remind us that survival is about far more than strength. It depends on observation, patience, knowledge, and the willingness to live in balance with the environment. In today's rapidly changing world, these lessons feel more valuable than ever. Modern technology has brought incredible progress. It has connected continents, advanced medicine, and transformed communication. Yet it has also increased the distance between many people and the natural world. The Hadzabe offer a different perspective. They remind us to slow down, to observe, to appreciate the rhythms of nature, to value community over competition, and to understand that the health of people and the health of the environment are deeply connected. Their culture is not frozen in time. Like every society, it continues to adapt to changing circumstances while striving to preserve the traditions that define its identity. This balance between continuity and change is one of the greatest challenges faced by indigenous communities across the globe. Protecting cultural heritage is not only about safeguarding the past. It is also about ensuring that future generations have the freedom to carry their traditions forward. As the evening sun begins to sink below the horizon, warm golden light spreads across the African landscape. The silhouettes of giraffes move quietly among the acacia trees. A herd of zebras grazes peacefully in the distance. Birds return to their nests as the wilderness prepares for another night. Back at the camp, families gather around the evening fire. The flames dance gently in the cool air. Stories are told, songs are shared, children listen with wonder. The wisdom of one generation becomes the foundation of the next. The stars slowly appear overhead. They are the same stars that guided the Hadzabe's ancestors thousands of years ago. They continue to shine over the camp today, and they will shine over the generations yet to come. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson of all. Civilizations may rise and fall. Technology will continue to evolve. The world will keep changing, but respect for nature, care for one another, and the passing of knowledge from generation to generation remain timeless values. The Hadzabe have shown us that true wealth is not measured by what we own. It is measured by what we preserve, by the wisdom we share, by the relationships we build, and by the legacy we leave behind. As our journey comes to an end, we leave the Hadzabe not with a sense of farewell, but with a deeper appreciation for the incredible diversity of human cultures and the enduring connection between people and the natural world. Their story is more than a documentary. It is a reminder that some of humanity's greatest treasures are still alive, still thriving, and still teaching us. If we are willing to listen, Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable journey into the hidden world of the Hadzabe. If this documentary inspired you, consider supporting efforts that respect indigenous cultures, protect wildlife, and conserve the remarkable landscapes that make stories like this possible. And if you'd like to continue exploring the world's most extraordinary tribes, wildlife, and untold histories, be sure to join us on our next adventure. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and never stop discovering the remarkable stories our world still has to tell. The African wilderness never stands still. Long after the hunters return to camp and the evening fires begin to glow, life continues all around them. A family of elephants quietly walks toward a distant waterhole. An owl silently glides through the darkness. Insects emerge beneath the moonlight, becoming food for birds and small mammals before dawn. Nothing in this landscape exists alone. Every living creature depends on another. The Hadzabe have understood this relationship for countless generations. They know that when the rains arrive, grasses begin to grow. As grasses spread across the plains, grazing animals return. Where grazing animals gather, predators soon follow. And where wildlife flourishes, the Hadzabe are able to continue the traditions that have sustained their people for thousands of years. The balance of nature is delicate. A prolonged drought can reduce water supplies. Fewer plants mean fewer grazing animals. Fewer grazing animals affect the predators. Every change ripples through the entire ecosystem. For this reason, the Hadzabe observe the land with remarkable care. They notice when birds arrive earlier than expected. They recognize when flowering plants bloom later than usual. Even the smallest changes become valuable pieces of information. These observations help them prepare for whatever the next season may bring. Unlike modern weather forecasts, their predictions come from generations of experience and close attention to the natural world. As children grow older, they begin to understand that survival is not only about finding food, it is about protecting the balance that allows life to continue. The elders often remind them that the forest gives generously to those who treat it with respect. This simple idea has guided the Hadzabe for generations. As night deepens, the sounds of the wilderness grow stronger. Somewhere in the distance, a lion announces its presence with a powerful roar. Nearby, hyenas call to one another across the open plains. The Hadzabe listen carefully. These sounds are familiar. They are reminders that humans are only one part of a much larger world. The stars shine brightly overhead, illuminating a landscape that has changed little over thousands of years. Tomorrow, the cycle will begin once again. The sun will rise. Animals will begin their daily journeys. Hunters will read fresh tracks in the dust. Gatherers will search for seasonal foods. Children will continue learning from parents and grandparents. Life will move forward just as it always has. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson the Hadzabe offer us. Nature does not rush, yet everything is accomplished in its own time. The African wilderness continues to teach patience, resilience, cooperation, and respect. These lessons are as valuable today as they were thousands of years ago. For the Hadzabe, they are not simply traditions. They are the foundation of life itself. The morning sun slowly climbs above the horizon, casting long shadows across the ancient baobab trees that have stood watch over this land for centuries. The Hadzabe camp is already awake. Children laugh as they help prepare for the day's journey. Hunters quietly examine their bows. Elders sit together, watching the wilderness come to life. To an outsider, it may seem like an ordinary morning, but hidden within these simple routines is something extraordinary. Every action reflects knowledge that has traveled across countless generations, unlike many societies that preserve history through books and written records. The Hadzabe preserve their history through memory, observation, and daily life. Every hunting trip teaches lessons learned by ancestors. Every gathering expedition passes on practical wisdom. Every evening story strengthens the connection between the past and the future. Knowledge is never treated as something that belongs to one individual. It belongs to the entire community. An experienced tracker does not keep his skills secret. Instead, he patiently shares them with younger hunters. A grandmother does not hide her understanding of seasonal plants. She teaches children how to recognize them, ensuring the knowledge continues long after she is gone. This tradition of sharing has helped the Hadzabe preserve their culture through generations of change. Many of the community's oldest stories explain the importance of respect. Respect for elders, respect for animals, respect for the land, respect for one another. These values are repeated so often that they become part of everyday life. Children grow up hearing them around the evening fire. Later, they pass the same lessons to their own children. The cycle never truly ends. As the day continues, one elder leads several young boys toward a rocky hillside overlooking the woodland. Rather than giving instructions immediately, he invites them to sit quietly. For several minutes, no one speaks. The only sounds are birds calling in the distance and the gentle movement of the wind through the trees. Finally, the elder smiles. "The forest speaks," he says, "but only to those who are willing to listen." He points toward the valley below. A small herd of impalas has gathered near a patch of fresh grass. Farther away, vultures circle high above the plains. A troop of baboons begins making loud alarm calls. Each sound tells a different story. The impalas reveal where fresh food can be found. The vultures may suggest that a predator has recently made a kill. The baboons warn that danger may be moving through the woodland. The boys begin to understand. Observation is not merely about seeing, it is about understanding. Back at the camp, the women continue teaching younger girls how to weave baskets from natural grasses. Their hands move with remarkable speed and precision. Every basket is unique, yet each follows techniques refined through generations of experience. The girls quickly discover that patience matters far more than strength. Rushing only weakens the finished work. This lesson extends far beyond basket weaving. It reflects the Hadzabe approach to life itself. Nature follows its own rhythm. People must learn to move with it. As evening approaches, families gather once more around the fire. An elder begins singing an old song remembered from childhood. Soon others join in. Children clap along with the rhythm. The words celebrate the changing seasons, the abundance of the forest, and the importance of unity within the community. For many visitors, it is simply a beautiful song. For the Hadzabe, it is history carried through music. It reminds every generation where they came from and why their traditions matter. As the stars fill the night sky, The fire slowly burns lower. The stories have ended. The songs grow quiet. Children drift to sleep beside their families. Tomorrow will bring another sunrise, another hunt, another gathering journey, another opportunity to learn. And with each passing day, the voices of the ancestors continue to live, not in monuments or written pages, but in the everyday lives of the Hadzabe people. Their greatest inheritance is not wealth or possessions. It is wisdom, a wisdom that continues